Just
Fix
hit
my
it.
headphones.
Just
Hit
hit
it.
it, man. What's up?
Oh man. Okay. Oh, we have a lot. There's so many earnings reports, so many headlines. Gold. Let's talk about gold. Right.
Netflix?
Netflix, Tesla. There's a lot going on here. Put the breakfast sandwich down. I don't eat breakfast anymore, Wavy. Come on, man. I'm not on the
Wow.
breakfast sandwich train. I wish I was. They're delicious, but no, I don't. I'm on the 1 meal a day train now. So
Netflix
all right.
down 8%.
Yeah,
You
Netflix
know,
got hit with some back taxes.
really?
Yeah, that's what they
Oh,
said.
man.
There's some Brazil. They thought they didn't have to pay taxes, and then the Brazil court reversed it. So now they have to pay taxes in Brazil. So they had to pay taxes for like 3 years, and it was like a whole thing.
I assumed that it must have been because all of their shows suck.
A lot of their shows and movies do suck, actually.
They haven't made anything good in a long time, I feel like.
I don't know, man. You and I are not the target demo for K-pop demon hunters.
Fair.
So,
So true.
all right, I'm gonna
Yeah.
start the show. Enough.
Hit it.
Yeah. All right, welcome to the Strazza show this morning, everybody. Spencer Israel, Steve Strazza, JC Parets traveling back from Vegas today, so he'll be back with us tomorrow. We'll have Kenny Glick stop by, rather most people stop by. But as I was saying, we do have a lot of things to talk about between the earnings and the sell-offs and commodities yesterday, and the crypto is always interesting. So there's a lot on our plate here. Steve, what do you think about what happened yesterday? Was it just a day?
I think the Dow Jones breaking back out to new highs is a big deal. Like that was the big development, and you got to look for something like the Russell to follow. S&P, Nasdaq still haven't got it done. We're in these wide ranges now that were pretty much established on that big down day, Friday, October 10th. And we've been stuck kind of in those ranges at the index level ever since. So the Dow now being the first one to break out above those pivot highs, that was a big development yesterday.
Okay, I didn't see that coming. I didn't think you were going to go there. I thought we were going to talk about gold and the worst day in I don't know how long, a long time.
So here's the thing about turning points. You tend to see volatility spike in both directions.
Yeah.
So just a day before, we were talking about gold having its best day since Spider Gold Fund. Best day since. Was anyone talking about this?
For the GLD, I didn't see anything about that. No, I haven't been looking at the.
Except for April.
I
One day in
don't
April.
look at the GLD too much these days. I mostly just look at the
Spider Gold
futures.
had its best day, Spencer, since the COVID bottom.
That was when that was not recently.
Yeah, it was.
No, I mean that
It was
wasn't
3.64% Monday. Okay?
That was on Monday.
Yes. So this is how it happens. Then the very following day gave it all back and more, down 6.43%. Worst day since I don't even know how long. Got to go back more than 10 years to like 2013, it looks like.
You're telling me that a $9 move in GLD was its best day in 5 years?
Rick, can you make this chart quickly? 1 day rate of change on the GLD. Yeah, I'm telling you. So volatility, this is just a great example now. It's a textbook example. Volatility spikes in both directions at turning points. So you know some sort of reversal is coming. And if you look at a chart like gold, Spencer, right, seeing volatility now spiking in both directions, it can only be going in one direction, right? That could only be an exhaustion reading and the initiation of a new downtrend, potentially. So to me, this was a pretty easy short last week. The trend went parabolic, super overheated. You look at gold on a daily, weekly, monthly basis, RSI 14, right? Traditional measure of overbought and oversold. And over 80 on every time frame. That's extreme.
Anecdotally, the the fever pitch of the memification of gold has reached a new level, right?
Yeah.
I'm seeing all over the place. I'm seeing gold, 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 gold from a content and headline standpoint, social media. Just again, it's just what I'm seeing,
I
but
can't
I'm sure you're
imagine.
all seeing it too.
I can't imagine what my grandmother's mailbox looks like right now.
Yeah,
But yeah, and that's going on. You could see it on the cable networks too. The news networks,
yeah, sure.
they're running gold commercials. The gold bars are back.
Yeah.
Fox News always big on gold. You get a lot of that there.
It's true.
JC bought silver coins
That
at a.
was my favorite clip in a while on this show. You guys,
I mean, we have to talk about that. JC came on our show yesterday. This man bought silver coins at a publishing convention in
yeah.
Las Vegas.
Uh-huh.
I mean, if that's not the top, come on.
I
Why
know
not?
JC is just feeling super nostalgic. He's feeling nostalgic for 20 years ago when he was in his early 20s and he was a huge gold bug and gold was ripping, energy was ripping, and nobody talked about technology because nobody cared. And he's just feeling nostalgic for that time in his life.
He's also been on like a big, like he's been collectibles binging.
Well, yeah.
He's been buying the magazines. He's buying some sports stuff.
He's diversifying.
He's buying his bonds.
That's right.
Speaking of bonds, wow. You want to know what stands out? You want to know the best chart in the market maybe right now?
What?
Do we have the IEI? Do we have any of these charts this morning? Throw up some bonds. Throw up a chart of bonds. This is the same pattern. We were talking about this on Spaces. Great Spaces yesterday. By the way, we do that every Tuesday at 11 o'clock Eastern time. Yeah. Chart report space.
With the chart report.
Twitter. So anyway, we were talking about bonds. And I said, this is just the same pattern, Spencer. Can we get it up? A chart up?
I think we're getting
zeros.
Right,
the zeros would be great. I'm in the TMF too. Same pattern. Textbook, multi-year, rounding bottom, right? Just a clean bearish to bullish. Trend reversal pattern, primary trend reversal pattern. Printing now in bonds, telling us that for the first time in a long time, really, the path of least resistance now higher for short-term treasuries. I think it happens on the long end soon too. Right? That's been the weaker side of that trade, right, Spencer, in the treasuries market. Short end looks a lot better, completing trend reversal. I'm talking about like 3 to 7 year notes. When you go out to like the 20 years, something like TLT, not quite. Now you could jump that pattern here. You'll have more beta in a longer duration, right? In the 20-year over the 3 to 7. And you'll have even more beta if you jump something like zero coupon bonds. Zero.
What is your vehicle of choice here?
I like the zeros. I'm going as far out pretty much on the risk spectrum within the treasuries world.
Oh no, I meant in terms of like just pure straight ETF or options on that or what?
We're talking about bonds. So do we have TLT calls? Yes.
Yeah.
We have a handful of TLT calls, to be clear. But no, I think you just go and you buy the fund.
Okay.
It's long-term stuff. Is it too boring for you?
It's a little dull for me.
Wow. Below Spencer's line. All right. Speaking of boring stocks, healthcare looking good. XLV trading to its highest level since early April. There's some really good looking stuff in healthcare, more and more every day. Biotechs remain red hot through the selling pressure of the past 2 weeks. So that's impressive. That stands out from a leadership standpoint. The biotechs just continue, just Teflon, the uptrend here. Really good stuff. Banks digging in, that's big. And notice some of these low volatility names. You know, we had Pepsi a few weeks ago, just really nice move after earnings. You see Coke yesterday, Spencer?
Yeah, earnings.
Yeah. So a lot of stuff still working here. Maybe different stuff, but it's rotation.
Wait, we have that chart. Wait, what chart do we have, Rick? We have
Give me a chart.
The 1 day. Okay, yeah. Just show us the 1 day rate of chance on that GLD real fast. I want to see this because
Would you
Because, like
like
I
that?
said, I don't look at
Was
the
I
at,
right?
at the at the GLD too often
Does it
anymore.
check out? So besides this one day, you could have circled these for us. Besides that one day, you could see it there. That was April. Okay.
Wow.
Yeah, that would have been the biggest up day since the pandemic, since the spike in 2020. See it there, and then the very next day, we're talking about Monday and Tuesday. The very next day, right? You get a nasty swing in the opposite direction. Worst day since 13.
Oh, brutal.
So that you just, what do we say? Big moves start with big moves. Here you go. Blow off top in gold. Clear as day, too, by the way.
However, if we
And
can
if you
get
have to
back
take,
to those highs, then blue skies ahead.
dude, it's just going to take a couple weeks probably to just work through this. I'm backing and filling, and then maybe resume uptrend. We'll see. We'll see. I think, though, at this point, I love the zoomed out look here. Don't be greedy. This has been a great trade. Right? Gold has been literally as good as anything. But look at this thing. Absolutely parabolic. Any other point on the chart look like this, just vertical line higher that we've seen in price recently? Like, just look back. This chart goes back more than 15 years. You've never seen a vertical move like this. You can just see. You don't even need an indicator to show that. Look at that ramp. So, pay yourself.
So where is this rotation going into? It's not going into energy, right?
The gold stuff,
Yeah.
bonds.
Okay, I guess you kind of answered that already. Yeah.
These have been central bank trades.
Yeah.
And bonds have been weak in large part because central banks around the world haven't been buying at the same, pace that we're used to them buying. Talking about U.S. Treasuries. A lot of those central banks, not naming any names, China, have been buying gold instead.
Yeah. Been reading a lot about that.
How much gold can you buy? I mean, come on. Spencer, you can only have one. You can only have one for the rest of your life. Gold or treasuries. You get one savings vehicle.
It would depend what I'm using it for, but I would probably want the guarantee of the treasuries.
It should be an easy answer.
But it would depend what the money's for. You know what I mean?
They call it risk-free for a reason.
Yeah.
You go with treasuries.
It would depend what the money was for, right? I guess if I theoretically never needed it, then sure, why not? Gold. But if I needed it one day, then hard to turn that down. Okay.
Maybe I'm just cranky because I wish I owned more gold.
Yeah. Well,
I own plenty. I've been there.
Yeah.
But it's too much for me.
Okay. Can we pull up a chart of the GM, please? This was an all-time high if you are only going back to the post-bankrupt GM from 2009. They had earnings. It's not an all-time high in like the history of the company, but in the post-bankruptcy version of this iteration of stock, it is an all-time high. So where's that GM chart? What happened? There we go.
These charts and Ford for a catch-up too look as good as anything. And I would so much prefer to own General Motors at 9 times earnings. I think depending on how you look at it, low is like 6 or 7 times earnings, or Ford at 10 times earnings. Then Tesla at, I don't know, how many hundred? I mean, does anybody even pay attention to Tesla's valuation? Does it even matter?
No, but the people that are paying attention to the valuations of GM and Ford I think are also missing the point, right?
Price for bankruptcy, these stocks, and here's what the charts look like.
No, they're not. They're just not priced for growth.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, they're basically priced to go away one day. If you're trading at single-digit price to earnings, I mean, really?
Yeah, they're not. They're priced. They're priced for not growth. They're priced for not growth. That's what they're priced for, right?
Yeah, they're priced to go away one day. Look, bargain hunting. This is for you. You buy this breakout,
man,
and the valuation breakout too.
You can have it, Steve.
Look at Ford. Also, do we have the Ford? Ford, really clean.
But last cycle, I ran Ford up from like 10 to 15, and then that was like as high as it got.
Yeah.
But,
well.
Or no, it was 15. Wait. Was it 15 to 20? 15 to 20. I forget how high it got.
Aren't you a Detroit guy? You don't support your local businesses?
Oh, it ran up to 25. Oh, I only had it to 20, but yeah, 25. Wow. Yeah, no, I mean, half of Southeast Michigan is employed by Ford, GM, or Chrysler, right? So, um, yeah, I
Surprised
mean,
you're not a buyer.
you can have these.
What don't you like about them? What's the problem?
They don't know what they're doing. They pivoted to EVs a few years ago and then realized, nobody wants our EVs. Actually, we have to go back on what we said we would do and lower our
I
EV
feel like they've been
production.
doing that for 10 years.
Yeah, I mean,
Announcing
Ford
and canceling EV business.
Ford realized correctly that like nobody wants any of their cars that are not a pickup or a Mustang, so they just stopped making everything else, which I think says more about Ford than consumer tastes. But because people still buy Toyotas, people still buy Hondas, but yeah,
Both of their revenues are growing.
I'm sure they are. That's that. Yeah, I'm sure the revenues are growing.
Single digits.
One of these years, Stephen, I've been hearing about this for a decade now. One of these years, this quote unquote subprime auto loan issue is going to come to roost, but that might not be for another decade. I've been hearing about it for a decade already.
Do they own the lending businesses still? I thought they spent
no, they don't. But
the financing arms are separate companies.
There's a whole thing about how people can't afford cars. New cars are so expensive because they have 15,000 computers in them. But
you know what? It's probably just fine. It's not a big payment compared to your home or rent.
So. Not for some people. Some of these I'm seeing.
Hear this horror story about subprime car loans, literally, like you said, all the time.
I feel like in the last year, I've seen the normalization of like the $500 monthly car payment, which to me blows my mind. Anybody would spend that amount of money per month on a freaking car. Maybe it's because I don't drive a lot, so I don't need a car really, but that's insane. But to each their own. If you can afford it, have at it. I wouldn't do it, but that's just me.
Speaking of lenders, like the Rocket Mortgage digging in out here, a lot of the fintechs looking really good. Stuff like SoFi, I'm thinking, and the home builders, huge bullish candles from the home builders across the board yesterday.
Do we have a Netflix chart? Can we bring that up for a second? Just because it is down pre-market. What's it down now? It's down
taxes
6.5%. They said if it wasn't for this like back tax issue with Brazil, they would have come in above estimates. But they did miss their top and bottom line numbers.
They want to be treated like a Magnificent Seven stock, and they're going to come out here blaming taxes. I don't know, Spencer.
It's sort of a weird situation. They are going through it against YouTube, right, and Apple and Amazon, and it's like a fight to the death for these content plays. I mean, I don't know if you saw that Netflix signed a deal with Spotify the other day, where they're gonna put basically Spotify video podcasts on Netflix exclusively. Netflix compete with YouTube. YouTube is an unstoppable monster. They don't break out their ad revenue. I know it's not a meaningful part of their business yet, but it'd be nice to know how much they're making. They don't tell us how many new subscribers they got anymore. So there's not much to learn from this report, I think, other than the fact that they're in this like content battle royale.
That tells you they don't want to report those things anymore. They're just not the exciting growth business that they were.
Probably not. And that was, that change happened a few years ago, right? Doesn't mean the stock can't keep going up, but you're right. It was not the Netflix of 10 years ago anymore.
So speaking of growth stocks, tech stocks, I've had my eyes on the speculative tech failed breakouts because I'm really just wondering. I'm thinking of things like Archer, SMR, a lot of the new nuclears, some of the quantums, even drone stocks. So many failed breakouts, right? So I'm thinking, is that evidence of deterioration beneath the surface and the riskiest groups, right? The most offensive, most speculative corners of the market, that wouldn't be good overall, generally speaking. So I'm watching all of these failed moves and asking the question, remaining open-minded as I watch them, are these false starts, right? And we eventually stick these breakouts and make new highs and break out all these ranges that I'm talking about? Or are these actually failed breakouts? And we're going to get some sort of like fast reactions or swift reactions now in the opposite direction. You get the implications of a failed breakout? Failed breakout is something that we're always looking for and always talking about because of what it means, because of what comes next. It's a signal. You could trade these patterns if you can spot them well, right? A failed breakout means it tried to go one direction. Bears took over the trend, right? Knocked it down, and now you could actually probably short it and take it in the opposite direction.
What is your signal for a failed breakout or failed breakdown for that matter? What is the signal for that?
I want to see downside momentum on the fail and a clean and clear level to define my risk against. You need a really clean polarity zone, right? So I want to see a shelf of old highs. Pop, 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 pop. We blast right through it, and I can pull up 1 day rate of change that we were just looking at in gold and see, oh, that was the biggest down day in a couple of weeks at least, right? You want to see momentum on that trigger. And then you can run it back to the opposite, right? The lower bounds of the range. And if you get that, and a lot of these stocks that I'm talking about that I just named, these were stocks that were just leadership stocks 2 weeks ago, printing big failed breakouts. If they make fast moves lower, I think that's going to cause some real damage in the speculative growth trade. And that'll probably trickle through. And you'll see that throughout the broad.
But it also depends, like, who we're talking about, right? Like, it's one thing if this is like Archer or whatever, right? That's like one thing.
Okilo, right? Like, you don't want to lose those names over the short term. You don't want to lose the momentum trade, is what I'm saying.
You could probably afford to lose Oklo, you know what I mean, and not have that mean
I got
have broader implications.
20 stocks long.
We've already lost Oklo. What do you mean? Oklo's down like $60.
Look, you got some big levels in play here. That's not one that's on my list, by the way. But it's names like that. Whatever. You don't have to agree. But there are a lot of potential failed breakouts. Just monitoring it. ARK's not going to break out if all these stocks that I'm naming are failing the breakouts. I think you want ARK to break out. I think it's important that ARK breaks out. I think it's important that the animal spirits stay alive and well out here because really we had like a nice surge in risk appetite. And then all of a sudden it like came undone with the action from the past couple of weeks. So you want to see it get like right back on track. You want to now lose the most aggressive, most risk on trades. That's all I'm saying. Meanwhile,
seeing a lot of
look at crypto. So it's like we got to get going here. Certain areas, no?
I mean, we're said the same thing for a week now. We're right there, right? We're right where Louis said we probably need to hold. We're there. We're holding. Hold the line.
Crypto is rangy as anything. Bigger ranges.
All right. Can we bring on Kenny?
Please.
Let's see what he's doing today.
Hit up my coffee.
Okay.
It's been a long time coming. They ain't come from my club, they took it. Putting up numbers, 99 pounds, and I still kept it 100. Hold up.
Yeah.
Yo, indeed. We need to start recording 24/7.
No, just because you're trading 24/7 doesn't mean we need to stream 24/7.
No, not maybe stream one thing, but if we would have recorded yesterday's session from the moment I woke up till the moment I passed out while still sitting at the desk, we could just take that, edit it down, and use it for content for the rest of my life. Because yesterday, my friends, was it. And I've said this before, that we've had some good days trading. Yesterday was it. Yesterday, if you might not think it was, maybe you weren't paying attention. Yesterday was the number one.
Do you want to share your chart?
History of trading. Yeah, sure. But I got to run because we're in some trades already.
Okay.
Hold on a second. So we had a lot of conversations yesterday because we had a lot of noobs. And as I'm trying to walk through some of these trades, some people, got kind of lost. So I've been starting earlier, and we're having kind of a symposium going on in this market. I just want to show you a couple of ones that have kept the streak alive. And let's talk about the Philip Morris. So Philip Morris, this is the yesterday's chart. And the reason that I talk a lot in the chat room is because I need to explain something. Because this in the first trade of the day, it was Philip Morris short, right? And I get very passionate when I'm short. F this stock, it's going to zero, crush it. Yeah, all right, we're going to kill it. Yeah. And there was reason, because you got a gapped up stock that's breaking VWAP and it went to the orange line. That's the trade that hasn't failed now in over 4 years. So our new streak is 23 for 23 already, but we're actually at 1,147 in a row for the last 4 years of this setup. Bang. It worked. Blue line, orange line, you're making 6 points. Breaks the orange line, starts getting hammered. So I say to my friends, hey, you know what? Let's not be short this stock before the open. All right, let's get the hell out. All right. But somebody said, but I didn't even short it. Wait, what do I do? I said, okay, wait. Normally, now that the stock got hammered, we're going to wait to look for it as a buy and play in the counter trend move. But if it breaks 150, 250, it's going to 150. If it breaks 150, it's going to 147.50. And if you were brave enough to hold the short into the open, look how it never gave you the reason to cover. And the 150 gave you the 147.50. 147.50 got you 145. 145 got you 142.50. Where were the VWAPian crews buying it? Right here. And then somebody said, hey, but wait, you're buying this stock? I thought you were just screaming about how it was a short. Yes. And now we're going to take the other side because the market never goes down. And I'm going to show you how to play the counter trend move. And we bought the stock at the 143. And again, I was a little late, but I'd rather be late and right than early and wrong. Nailing it right here, double testing it. And then we get the reversion to the VWAP. And that's where the new party gets started. So we're already long the stock, taking profits. So somebody said, well, I didn't buy it down there. Is it still okay to buy? And I'm like, it's at VWAP. Of course it is. And if it breaks back over the VWAP, we're going to go to the orange line. How could you be so sure, Kenny, it's going to go to the orange line? Because I invented the trade, and we haven't had a failed one in 4 years. And right there, my friends, this little tiny trade from 146 to 150 with some options was a triple on your money. But the enormity of this trade is a microcosm of what we've been doing now in the Hit the Bid room since 2007, 2012. And if you just joined us last week, bam, this was just one trade and you already paid for your year. But the enormity of the ease of use of this trade was absolutely incredible. But wait, there was 18 more of these yesterday. I'll go give you one because I got to get back to the room. PHM. Look at this wonderful looking thing. I'm going to get that tattooed on my chest. Here you go. Stocks breaking down. Who even trades Pulte Home? Nobody, but we did yesterday because we got the faux show, bro. VWAP break. Test it once, test it twice. Where's it going, Kenny? I'm pretty sure it's going to go to the orange line. How could you be so sure? Because we haven't had a failed trade in 4 years. Look what your entry price is here, my friends. You're getting in at 116, banging it out at 123. There was 17 of these yesterday. Yesterday was the greatest day of trading. If you are not trading around VWAP and earnings reports, and to top it all off, while this was going on, we were crushing G-sits and the pump and dumps from the other day, annihilating USAR on a short, and everyone's saying the same thing. But I thought you liked these stocks. I'm like, I don't like them anymore. That was 2 weeks ago. We're crushing rigatoni. We're crushing quantum. We're crushing everything in our path. And, of course, the only loss we took yesterday was shorting the Qs because for some reason they don't go down. And that.
Oh, man. Listen up. That's just a glimpse. Kenny is going to his room right now, which you can get into, hitthebid.com. It's on the screen. He's also going live at 11 o'clock. He does every single Monday through Thursday. And also today at 3:30, he'll be going live into the close, talking about Tesla, which reports tonight. I don't know, IBM reports tonight, talking about earnings he's looking for and recapping the day. So a lot of Kenny. This is Kenny's season around here.
And one more thing before I go, my friends. Who's got the VICR?
Yep.
Who's got the VICR? Come on now. Like, I don't really like analysts, but I got a guy. Everybody needs a guy in their life, right? This guy's all about fundamentals. He gave us the stock at $58 a couple of days ago. And he said, look for this bad boy to rip. Congratulations, because not only do we have a trade that works every time, but every once in a while I get a nice phone call from an analyst that likes a stock, and I look at the chart. I'm like, you know what? I'm in. VICR, everybody. Congratulations. Nice 30-point hit we got.
Do I want to even ask you what this company does? Do you?
Semiconductor. It's phenomenal, actually. It looks like the stock's going to go to 120, but we're cashing out of most of it now, and then hopefully we get a pullback. VICR, congratulations. And what a freaking start to the week. All right. If anybody's in the room, if you guys are noobs in the room, ask me questions. I'm there for basically 12 hours a day lately. All right. I'll see you inside.
All right. Bear market for Kenny getting outside, but bull market for the rest of us.
He's right. He's right about having guys.
It's good to have guys for a variety
for
of
a lot of
things,
things.
definitely.
Yeah, different things.
Yeah. That's true. Yeah. All right. We're gonna have Riley Roseby hop in a few, but before that, do you want to do any live charting, Steve, or what? I mean, I have more headlines. There's more things we can discuss. I mean, we can talk about Travis Kelce getting involved with an activist investor.
What?
And yeah, you don't know about that?
What are you talking about, Spencer?
One of the things these activist hedge funds like to do is they like to recruit celebrities, right? Remember that Shaquille O'Neal was involved with Papa John's back in the day. So Travis Kelce is involved with Six Flags. Ticker is FUN because they merged with Cedar Point. So Six Flags and Starboard Valley. It's Starboard is the first. No, sorry, Jana Partners. It's Jana Partners and Travis Kelce have an activist campaign in FUN.
Yeah.
So
you know how
if you're looking for,
it's a bubble in private equity because every athlete has his own freaking private equity company now.
Do they?
A lot. Too much for me.
Regardless, this is not a new idea. I mentioned Shaquille O'Neal and Papa John's, but there was also Dwayne Wade and Fresh Pet. CC Sabathia was also involved in that one. So there's been precedent for recruiting celebrities, recruiting athletes for your activist campaign. But what else was on my list here? We want to talk about Beyond Meat, which is up 100% this morning.
Going to zero, like that? Is that like a bank?
This is like vintage, like Reddit bullshit short squeeze stuff. That's what this is. Funnily enough,
stuff like this, you just don't need this kind of situation, this kind of a headache in this environment. So many things are working without that downside risk. There's no reason to be in trades like that. You know what I mean, Spencer?
This trade is great until it's going to fall 50% in one day. That's going to happen, right?
So that's your risk reward equation has to take into account whatever Spencer just said, a potential 50% haircut. You just don't need to take a risk like that in a market like this where so much stuff so resilient to the downside and working well to the upside. Mm-hmm. Right?
Yeah. Funnily enough, I swear to you, I did bring up this chart like 2 weeks ago. It's like, Beyond Me, whatever happened to those guys? I think if only I had known.
Just Travis Kelce in general has just become quite a bubble. Just a lot of him everywhere.
Well, that's not Beyond Me. That's a different.
No, I know, but I'm just looking in the chat.
Yeah.
Just a lot. I heard that her new album is very X-rated.
I mean, I haven't heard most of it, but the parts that I've heard through, the speakers in my house are, yes, it is X-rated. There's some stuff in there.
For someone who's been so successful and has done so well, she seems very angry.
No, she thinks, I don't know, man. I think she's just
some of the things she sings about.
Not 18 anymore. I don't know. Yeah. What else was on my list here? We have more earnings. I mean, there's so many, right? There's just going down the list.
We're gonna do live charting tomorrow. A ton of it.
We could,
and maybe Friday too. I think we're gonna come on Friday and do like an open bar.
We could do that. Wait, what's the deal with what's the deal with D-Nut this morning with Krispy Kreme? What is that? What is that? Is it earnings? Why is it up 30%?
The D-Nut? Well, you just said crazy meme stocks are making moves.
No, seriously, does anyone know what?
Hey,
does anyone know what's going on here?
You could trade. You could trade stuff like that in this market.
Is there even news? I haven't seen what it is. That's why I'm asking.
This is different from Beyond Meat in my mind. You got a nice pattern here. Look at this thing's probably got some sort of freakish short interest on it. And there's also just a theme here that cuts through a variety of different industry groups, right? It's not just retail, but it's like these old American brands just keep coming back onto my watch list. Well, we were talking about Victoria's Secret last week. Now the Krispy Kreme. We're talking about Cheesecake Factory not long ago. Todd Stone loves Cheesecake Factory. Some other friends who just love trading the IMAX theaters. It's like these old. No, is there something there? Levi's. No, am I crazy?
Yeah, okay. And then I raise you one Nike and one Starbucks, which look terrible.
Polo, Ralph Lauren, new all-time highs. No, I don't know. I think there's something there. Abercrombie & Fitch was looking good. I don't know. Maybe I just like to,
It was? Oh, like 4 months ago, maybe.
It's looking great. Just earlier this cycle. You're a hater, okay? Ask Jeff Mackey.
No, I'm not a hater. No. Jeff will tell you that like haves and have-nots, right?
Lulu looks like it's trying to carve out some sort of floor here, like a tradable low. Looks like it's got one in. There's just not much to get excited about for Lulu in the future. This is just not the story that it was 10 years ago at all. I mean, think about this company that came in. They literally created a new category, led that space. There was nobody else there. It was like Lulu and nothing else. Just go on Instagram. There's 25 athleisure brands that look exactly like it today. I can't tell the difference. The Lulu man pants aren't even that great. People are wearing bird dogs and the Vuari. So,
Lulu with perhaps the biggest self-own in history when they sued a few months ago when they sued Costco.
Lulu sued
Costco.
Claimed
that they claimed Costco was selling pants that for cheaper that were too similar to Lululemon's pants. In other words,
Lulu's pissed off because Costco could make better pants than them.
In other words, stop making our stuff for cheaper, losers.
Costco does that to everybody. Badass. I'll tell you again. Rose was at Costco the other day. I was online shopping on Walmart. I'll keep saying it because I don't own enough of this stock for the long run. And Jeff's been talking about it. He's been all over it. I'm buying things from Walmart more and more and more instead of Amazon. Comes faster, it's cheaper, just as good. Walmart's online store is ridiculous. I ordered a TV at like 9 o'clock in the morning. It was here by lunchtime.
You probably want to wait for a pullback on that. I mean, it has pulled back a little bit, a couple dollars.
I'm not buying it here. I'm just saying the product has become absolutely incredible. Walmart.
Actually, what were those old highs in Walmart? Those old highs were 105. 105.
Are other people doing that? Like things that in the past I would always just go to Amazon for. I'll check Walmart now. Also, I can get them cheaper and faster. Consistently. I don't know.
I haven't been inside a Walmart. I haven't been into a Walmart or on Walmart.com, and I don't even know. It's been a long
pay
time,
like this little like membership prices. It's very similar to Prime or whatever, and then you could just shop the deals all day.
You don't do if you say so. I mean, no. Again, I'm not a shopper there, but I will say it's right there at the prior highs right now because it blasted off last week. I had that best day ever, or not best day ever, but I had a great day because of the thing with ChatGPT, and then now it's a couple dollars off that. You could probably buy it here. It's a nice level, 106. That's a nice level.
Listen to Bank of America. Getting all tactical. Bank of America's clients are back to selling stocks after buying the dip. BofA Securities said clients resumed selling U.S. stocks. Did they? Bank of America last week after briefly buying the dip, led by institutional hedge fund outflows. Despite a we should follow hedge fund flows. Despite a 1.7% gain in the S&P 500, $2.1 billion in single stock outflows outweighed the $1.2 billion of ETF inflows. Here's the thing: if flow of funds data determined where prices went on a day-to-day basis, I would care.
I was going to say, somebody
should tell Bank of America it just doesn't work that way.
I don't think there's a like. I find the flow data interesting, but to JC's point, it's not super actionable, right? Most of it is just noise.
Hey,
Be, so
say that to Todd Stone, all right?
no, because Todd Stone like has the expert eye to actually like look
So
at
good.
it like more intellectually than me. But like all I do is pull up a table on like etfdatabase.com or whatever,
Yeah.
or Verify, whatever it's called now, and just look at the fund flows. But it, it's not a leading indicator of anything. So
Nope, it's not.
and a lot of times it's lagging because it chases performance. So
Spencer, did we talk about the Thomas Petterfy comments on the Interactive Brokers call?
you mentioned them. You mentioned it yesterday. No, you talked about how the whatever he said on CNBC, which was that whatever the stat was, most of their traders are profitable this year. Most of their clients are profitable this year.
We did it.
80%. I didn't listen to the call.
Yeah, 90%.
90%.
So
no, I mean the stock basically did nothing after it reported last week, right? So
speaking of having guys, I'm on the phone with a good friend yesterday. He is the best in the business when it comes to breath analysis. This man has invented like the breath thrust cycle in many ways, the way that they teach it today in the CMT curriculum. Won the, I guess, the Lipper Award back in 2008. Just consistently has had incredible fund performance. Yeah, I'm talking about our friend Mike Hurley. And he likes to call his analyst community friends. He said, I spoke to Verone and Sohn. I talked to Ari, calling you. Do you think it was a bear market in Q1, Q2 of this year? And I'm like, I don't know. Depends on, I'm giving him like a bullshit answer. Depends on your time frame. Who are you? What are you trying to do? Kind of, it was abbreviated. It fits into the prolonged cycle story. He said, look, everybody I talk to is saying they're not treating that as a bear. So we're in like year 3, 4, most of the cycle, getting long in the tooth here. He says, I think we're in year 1. That was a bear market, full reset. People are missing that. I said, wow, that's fascinating. So Mike Hurley, full bull. And I think there's something there.
And therein lies, if you're saying, well, why does it matter? Who cares if it was a bear market or not? Why are we talking about what happened 6 months ago, right? But the answer to that question is because we know that cycles last for a certain amount of time, right? And there's a big difference between being in year 1 of a bull market versus being in year 3 or 4 of a bull market, right? That matters.
Guys like Mike have built their career on this sort of cycle analysis, right? In correctly forecasting the magnitude and duration of trends, of cycles, right? And then they stay on the right side of those trends and they can anticipate maybe when they begin, when they end very well and do well in the market, right? That's what a guy like Mike does. So it's very important to him. And that's why he does all of this cycle and breath thrust work to really determine how he wants to be positioned on the stock market. So I just thought that was a fascinating conversation. And I'll just, if this is getting confusing, all the breadth and market internals talk, what Mike was saying would be incredibly bullish, right? He's saying we're in much earlier stages of a new cycle, not the middle to later stages of an existing one. So I thought that was just a really cool take.
All right, we'll get Mike back on the show. He was on the show in March, so
we need him.
We'll get him on the show in a few weeks here. Okay, we got Riley Roseby here lurking backstage. Let's bring him out, and then we'll do some recess, and we'll go trade.
Okay.
Cool. Wait, Riley, where's your bumper? There it is.
What's up, boys? Good morning.
Riley.
How we doing?
How are you? Why are you wearing a hat? Is it cold where you are?
It gets a little cold in Sedona in the during the night.
Do you not have heat?
Oh no, we got that all taken care of. We're all squared away there. Yeah.
The thing about Riley is he has a home, but sometimes he just dresses like he doesn't, right?
That's totally it. When I was in Los Angeles working, I think this is the summer of 2019. I was working with shout out Brett Conrad in Longboard Capital.
Shout out Brett Conrad.
Dude, I was like
Speaking of
working at a coffee shop and there's this guy
Yeah,
out
man.
front and he looks like he's homeless.
Hell
And
yeah,
next thing you know, he's wearing a Balenciaga tarp. And I look it up and this Balenciaga tarp is like $5,000.
There
So
you
from
go.
then on, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna look homeless, maybe even be homeless. We'll see.
It's a good point. You never really know. You never really know what's going on in people's lives.
You have no idea.
Tell them what you were wearing in Tokyo.
What was I wearing in Tokyo?
I don't know.
I had a lot of cool stuff on that trip. Specifically the golf clubs that, somehow made it to all of those countries without getting lost. That was a miracle. That was a miracle.
So any cool trips for you in the future? You're coming to Utah with us. I'm sure you're gonna do some skiing.
I'll be in Utah. Yeah, I'll definitely I gotta break out the snowboarding gear. It's been a long, long time on that front. But that'll be great to see you guys.
We have some athletes, like some extreme athletes. I feel like you could probably do some things on the slopes. I know Jason probably can. I don't know. Jason's getting old. His knees aren't what they were.
It might be a liability for him at this point.
JC can ski. He says he can ski.
He says he
JC
can
says he's
ski.
a good skier.
I'm excited. Do you think we're gonna get like Brian Shannon to come out?
Definitely.
Okay.
Brian Shannon doesn't miss a ski trip. First, actually, I'll tell you the thing about Brian Shannon. We couldn't get Brian to come out for any other reason. The fact that we'll be skiing and on like some good mountain or whatever, I know nothing about it. That's why Brian Shannon will definitely be there. I could tell you for a fact he'll be there.
I love it. I love it. Also, behind closed doors, me and you need to have a conversation. I stumbled upon a venue outside of Telluride, Colorado, that I think would be prime time for Portfolio Accelerator.
Surprised we haven't had an event in Colorado yet, actually. So you should pitch that. Anyway, talk to me about the market. Your stocks, Riley's stocks, are failing breakouts. That's a growing list of them. Are, at least for now, right? It's one of those situations where it's a failed breakout until it's not.
The only reason I'm really not super concerned, dude, is we're hitting earnings season. There's going to be so many opportunities from this earnings season.
Earnings reactions tend to occur in the direction of the shorter term or intermediate term trend. Could you start to argue that at least some of these, the intermediate or the short-term trends, are turning?
I think you can. I mean, the nuclear names, you see them pre-market this morning. They're getting hit again.
What's going on? Is there like news that like something like NNE, guys? This is what I'm talking about, right? You just draw a straight line through the 2025, early 25, and then the September highs. Failed breakout, what, 46? So there's just a lot of this.
I think you got to just let the earnings season kind of do its thing and
Right,
let these trades kind of set themselves up for you to then take advantage of them, right? Like my favorite setup, Steve, is you get a beautiful earnings gap up. The stock does nothing for like, I don't know, 2, 3, 4 weeks, goes sideways. Yeah. Everybody forgets about how great the earnings report is.
Yeah.
And then that's the time to run. Tesla though, coming up. I mean, that's the big one this afternoon. So
yeah, it is. Nice coil, big level.
Nice coil, big level. And I'll tell you what, man, I was really close to breaking my rule of not holding through earnings, but this morning I put in all the sell orders, so I will be out before earnings. I had to stay true to my rules.
Why?
Dude, I can't.
You can't get out before every earnings report, though.
Not before every earnings report, but I didn't have a good enough cushion here to feel comfortable taking the risk of earnings. I was talking to Sean. He says like the options market's pricing a 33-point move. That was earlier in the week. So what? That's plus or minus 10%. As great as it would feel to wake up tomorrow to this thing printing over 500 with the size that I had, it would feel even more shitty waking up to it at like, I don't know, 400, 380. So
fine with that.
Let them dance, right?
Yeah.
Let them dance.
All right. So Riley wants to earnings and chill, or maybe even chill on earnings in the case of Tesla. What else has your kind of eye here? Microsoft has a similar coil that's kind of coming out of.
It does. One name though that I'm really liking, and this is kind of shout out to JC and crew in Vegas. But have you
shout out JC and Vegas crew?
Have you taken a look at this Sphere Entertainment?
Yeah, I have. I'm long. I love it.
Dude,
It's a rare
what
asset.
what a chart. It's a rare asset. They have, the prospects for growth. They want to put up mini spheres everywhere else, Dubai. They're talking about all these places.
Oh, they're gonna.
So
Totally. Yeah.
we'll see. I mean, I personally haven't experienced the sphere. I saw it in person. It wasn't illuminated. It was, all dark and kind of ominous looking, but what a
You-
chart.
And people talk. Like you hear people,
Dude.
most people's experiences that I hear about, far majority just they say it's just incredible.
It's a
Uh,
status thing at this point, right? Oh, have you been to the
yeah.
Sphere? Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
you're right.
No, I saw Green Day at the Sphere. I don't know who's playing at the Sphere, but I saw
Which
so and so at the Sphere.
which by the way is good business, right? They sell this like rare, unique product that it's an experience that you have to go to, and people with money, it doesn't matter what these tickets cost. They're crazy, by the way.
Yeah.
And
You know what I'm
JC
going to
was
be
like,
looking forward to? What
yeah,
happens at the Sphere during CES? That'll be something to watch. Like, are they
I'm
going
sure
to
there'll
do
be some
anything
cool shit.
special
I'm
at
sure.
the Sphere during CES?
I'm
What is
sure.
it going to be? Maybe
Yeah, they're gonna have
robots.
AI shit.
Well,
They're gonna
oh,
do a
okay.
rewatch of 2001 Space Odyssey. JC was like, "Hey, they have Backstreet Boys this week." I'm like, "Yeah, so why aren't you going?"
Yeah, no, he needed to go. That we need the boots on the ground research for that.
Tommy's probably friends with some of the Backstreet Boys,
First name
right?
basis, speed
He's
dial,
he's friends with everybody.
speed dial. I do want to bring up one other chart though. GE Vernova reported earnings this morning.
These have been weak, dude. Is this breaking down? Because look at the other ones.
Maybe it's gapping up this morning. So here's
Really?
sentiment, right? Like, let's go back to the previous conversation we had from 3 minutes ago, right? Letting
Mhm.
earnings play out. I'm not in a rush to jump into this name after earnings if it's gapping up. But if we start breaking above these, 650, 670 levels, kind of those previous pivot highs,
Yeah.
beautiful base. And maybe that's a oopsies failed breakout kind of a move. So
Look, yeah, I love that you're bringing these up. That's just a sweet coil in the GEV. This chart looks incredible. These stocks have been so resilient, coming off being some of the best stocks earlier this year and last year. If you look at something like CEG, or what is the other one, Vistra, VST,
mhm.
these are leaders that I would say have been hard to get into because they've just been such runners pretty much all cycle. You can get VST and CEG literally at their Q1 highs right now. Nice little pullbacks in both of these charts. This is where you would want to step in and buy them.
Yeah,
So
I
the
like it.
GEV too, right? And
I
you,
like
like
it.
Riley said, you got a positive reaction there so
But
far this morning. Looks nice.
I really do think though that the Tesla earnings report I think has a lot of impact on just like speculation as a whole, right? If they run Tesla into earnings after the close and it gaps up 50 points, what does that mean for speculation sentiment? Like, I think
Well,
it's full bore.
haven't like the Tesla picks and shovels plays been working really well. A lot of these battery stocks and stuff have been like kind of red hot out here,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. The EOS, the Bloom
Yeah.
Energy.
Yeah.
Talk about names hard to get into. They're just going up 5% every day, it seems like. And it's tough to manage your risk if you don't have any size going into it.
What was the news on Bloom the other day that sent that one soaring? Do you know?
I don't.
It's like every other day, some of these speculative stocks, God, it's a headline market driving the speculative growth trade in, many cases.
Yeah. I didn't catch your guys' segment early this morning on Netflix. Did you guys talk too much about Netflix and how they're pulling AI into the mix?
Spencer said they're making excuses about taxes. I said, what other Mag 7 names come on the earnings report and blame taxes for a miss? Like,
Not
seriously.
only taxes, Steve. Taxes in fucking Brazil. I'm sorry, but
Seriously,
what?
like, come on. And you want to be a Mag 7? Like, tell them, Riley, that's some bull. Come on. Google doesn't come out here complaining about taxes. They got 8 other businesses that could drive, a beat for them. They're like complaining about Brazilian taxes. Give me a break. Netflix also, we mentioned how they their content is trash.
Right. But generative AI could potentially play a
Well,
pretty interesting role in that capacity. right?
I don't know.
We're
what are you
we're
talking?
in the
what does
AI
that
slop
mean? What,
as of
how
right
does
now.
AI help me enjoy television? Like, I don't understand that.
Okay,
Don't I
so
want
perfect
less AI
example.
for TV? They're
Perfect
awful.
example.
Also, half the shows now are in a different language, and there's somebody else's voice. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
It's like it's from Europe, but then there's like some American voice coming through, and I'm like, what am I even watching? Do you know what I'm talking about?
I know exactly
Half
what
the
you're talking about.
shows.
But here's what I'm looking forward to, right? I want a like 10-part historical documentary kind of feature film on reminiscences of a stock operator, right? And I want to be able to prompt and give it the prompt of the book and be like, turn this into a 12-part series.
Oh, I don't want to do work when I'm watching TV. Can you stop?
It's one
Oh,
prompt. Come on, man.
awful.
One prompt.
What is wrong with Riley? Someone called you a futurist in the chat. That's a compliment, right?
It's a great compliment.
Yeah,
I
okay.
appreciate that.
Yeah. He likes
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, I like to try and live in the future, which I think brings me to recess. Are we ready for recess? Can we hit the recess?
You know, you're an optimist, and I like that about you.
Thank you, Steve. It's
Hit the
always
button.
fun.
Did we mention the coil on Palantir is also sick?
It's not. I can't believe you're the one bringing that up, Steve. How about that?
I don't fall in love with these stocks like you. Okay, I'm
don't fall in
objective
love
here.
with them.
I'll tell you when they're extended, and it's time to chill, and I'll tell you when they're coiled up and ready to rock. I don't care what it is. I don't care if it's Pepsi, Coca-Cola, Palantir. It makes no difference to me.
Palantir earnings November 3rd. So we got a few more days, but that thing
We'll
looks
say.
ready to go. I don't know if it's going to go before earnings. It seems a little optimistic.
Now, with that said, if I were to pick one stock to fall in love with forever, it would probably be Palantir.
Yeah.
Because it's just the most special story going, period.
Well, it's the most special story going. And then if you look at the last two earnings reports, just smashing numbers, record earnings reports, like the rule of 80 numbers coming in almost at 100,
Yep.
a rule of 40.
So this is now one of those businesses where it's like, what's the ceiling? Who the hell knows? Like, how high can this go? You know, and I believe them when they say like every S&P 500 company is going to be a client. They better be. If they have the money, they will be. So it's you can't. Sky's the limit for a business like that. Palantir is just a really special story. So a stock like this, it's just all about finding those spots, picking those spots along the way, right? Where you could choose your risk reward, kind of skew that in your favor. Palantir is a stock you just want to keep buying for a long time. I think I'm totally with you on that.
Yeah, I would agree.
Sorry, recess.
Yeah, what was your recess, Riley?
So yesterday I did a thing. I ordered a minimal phone, which is pretty cool. So this is, I should back up. This is my first non-iPhone cell phone purchase since like 2011, right? So we're totally changing the trend here. But it's an e-ink display. I think I got a photo of it on the deck if we're able to throw it up. E-ink display. It runs on Android. It has a keyboard. It's like if BlackBerry and Kindle had a baby.
It's black and white. It comes in a briefcase with a big cord.
I have a pager too. Just kidding.
Okay. All right. What's the point of this?
The point of this,
what are you doing?
I'm playing with new tech. I'm a big proponent.
I thought you were a futurist. You're going backwards.
No, this is new tech.
This is old tech. This is
new tech. This is new tech that hasn't even been shipped yet. They're gonna be shipping it in let's see, 4 days, 3 days.
Rick wants to know if you can interact with brokers on this, Riley.
Bro, you're hilarious.
No.
Yeah, no, this only runs apps pre-2006.
So you can here's the thing, guys. It has Android 14 on it. So you can get the full Google Play Store. I'll be able to have Slack on there. I'll be able to have TradingView on there. I'm gonna be set. Now, I'm gonna give myself.
Do they have Notepad?
Like a pen and paper? I think you can bring that with you.
Notepad.
Hold on, Riley. What exactly makes this minimal? I'm confused.
It's designed not to suck our attention.
But it still has all the same apps.
It does. But who wants to scroll through Instagram or spend an hour on Twitter on a e-ink display? So like I'm going to open Instagram and throw the phone away.
So you don't have the self-discipline to not doom scroll. You need basically a governor on your phone to make sure that you do the right
Steve,
thing.
I think we take a step back and really understand the historical context in this, right? I grew up with the smartphone.
Uh-huh.
I can remember, like, to this day, when I downloaded Instagram for the first time in high school. Like, everybody, we get into lunch period, everybody's out in the cafeteria, we're downloading Instagram, and so you got to think, since I was like 15 years old, we've been inundated with these social apps. I'm ready to fucking buck that trend. I don't know if the minimal phone is going to work. I'm going to give myself 30 days, see how the behaviors change. But I'm ready for something new. And I think with the confluence of AI and robotics, we're going to see a new form factor.
Riley,
it's not going to be an iPhone in 10 years.
I want to
Better
hear
not
from
be
you in
this.
30 days. Riley, I want to hear from you. I want to hear, because I could get behind this.
Talk about Riley going so homeless. I mean, if he has a flip phone.
This is hardcore homeless, dude. You're going extreme homeless. So unlike you, I grew up with first generation cell phones, razors, awful cell phones that probably worked and looked like this. And I can promise you, they sucked and it was terrible.
Do you remember how hard it was to get on the internet, Steve, on those phones,
God.
on those shitty mobile browsers? Oh my God, Verizon had like their own internet thing. Oh,
the breakthrough moment for me, I remember the first generation iPhone. I had one friend who had it. We were in college. I lived with 5 guys. We're sitting around on the couch, and one of my roommates was like, he was like a pathological liar. He had a problem. He just, he just exaggerated all the time. He was lying about everything. It was hilarious. And my buddy who got the iPhone started using his web browser to like check him live and be like, no, Louis, actually on Wikipedia it says this. And we were like, whoa, dude, iPhones are crazy. He's got the internet in his pocket. But that was like not a thing with the cell phones that came before.
No. I mean, like some like the phones in like 05, 06, they had like internet, but it was like 1% of the internet, right?
It was so there was
like 4 websites that you could use. It's like ESPN.com, CNN.com, right?
Right. Well, and this was pre like understanding how the web works for mobile, right?
Yeah,
so none of these websites were even built or optimized for mobile in any way.
That's right.
So yeah, we'll see how it goes, boys. I'll give you guys the lowdown. I'll definitely bring the phone to Utah too, even if I'm using it or not.
Don't. Leave it at home.
I will bring the phone to Utah. I'll bring my glasses again. I just like, show and tell.
This
is your worst take ever.
No, it's not. It's not, Steve. It's not. Wow. Because like I see it with myself. Like this happened literally this morning, 3 hours ago. I'm on the couch. I'm feeding the baby. I'm feeding the baby with one hand. I'm scrolling with the other. What happens? The baby starts to look at my phone, and he's watching me scroll, and I'm like, oh shit, this is not good. Can't be doing this.
It's probably fine.
Can't be doing this. Can't be scrolling on my phone 5 inches from the baby's face or whatever.
Technology is not all evil and bad. It's what we make it.
No, you're right. You're 100% right. You're 100% right. But I do want to push back on you, Steve. I do want to push back on you because when I was in school, the hot place to work was all the Mag 7 big tech companies, right? And if you look at what was influencing those companies, there's a book called Influence. Robert Cialdini. He was a former professor at ASU. He was assistant professor at Stanford. This book became like the Bible in Silicon Valley for how to steal people's attention. So yes, all technology is not bad. Obviously, I'm like this futurist. I freaking love technology. But like you can weaponize shit. And I would argue that all the social media apps that we have are weaponized to take our attention. Look at the KPIs that they put out on Wall Street, right? It's all about daily active users. They just want our attention as long as humanly possible. So let's play around and try not to give them what they want.
So just don't give it to them. You don't have to buy some shit old phone from 50 years ago.
Let me play, dude. Let the kids have fun.
Fine. It's a fun concept. It's interesting.
Yeah. My recess, we were talking about shitty Netflix shows. Here's a show that is not shitty. It's not on Netflix. Maybe that's part of the reason. It's on HBO called Task. If you have not watched it,
you like that?
It ended on Sunday. It's a one season. It's a mini series, and the biggest question with these mini series is, can they stick the landing? Do I want to invest whatever it is 7 hours of my life if they're not stick the landing? And I can tell you, This show stuck the landing. Okay,
HBO don't miss, dude. HBO.
tight, 7 episodes. There was no fat. Okay, no filler,
Yeah, it's great.
no plot line. No, it is just straight. Like, it's good. It's just really, it's vintage HBO. It's 7 episodes.
love
You can bang it
this.
out probably in a weekend.
Spencer,
Right.
how long have we both been saying it on here? HBO throws down unlike any other. After all these years, still.
After all these years, I would say the range of HBO shows is much smaller.
Yeah, you're not
you
getting
get
it.
far
Yeah.
you get far less like with a Netflix or Hulu
It's
show.
quantity versus quality strategy. They're different strategies.
You're right. And Apple TV is sort of borrowed from the HBO playbook. They're pretty similar in that regard that I have found.
They've been
But yeah, you just high quality shows. And this is just the latest. It's from the guy who did Mayor of Easttown a few years back. So
yeah,
if you like good guys versus bad guys, cops and robbers, that sort of thing. And it's just a great show.
check that out. Rose probably won't like it. I'll check it out. We've been watching The Chair Company.
I've heard about that. I heard that
one.
it's been a huge hit for them.
With the obnoxious guy who you either like him or you don't. What's his name?
I think he's funny. Tim Robinson.
Tim Robinson. Just he's like outrageous and annoying. It's annoying humor, but
is it good?
I think he's funny. I think he's great.
Okay.
Yeah, and he's less obnoxious than like his usual character.
Okay, I have to check it out. Yeah.
But his last show that was also on HBO was hysterical. Really good. Whatever that was. Tim Robinson.
Detroiters? No.
It was out a couple of years ago. It was really funny.
You talking about the one where he's talking about how crazy?
Oh, I think you should wait.
I think you should leave.
He's talking about the crazy,
leave, right?
crazy shirts.
Yeah.
The shirt is not crazy enough.
Yeah, he's funny.
Yeah.
So
that's why it's so expensive, Steve. It's because of all the patterns.
This is fun. Thanks, Riley. Thanks for coming on.
All right. Thanks, Riley. Let's get out of here. Kenny will be live in a little over an hour for the long and short of it. Jeff Mackey will be live at 1:00 today. Kenny will be live at 3:30. Riley doing his thing every Wednesday at 5:00 Eastern time, right here on Stock Market TV. Thank you for watching. We'll be back full crew tomorrow. If you're watching us on YouTube, do me a quick favor. Hit the like. I appreciate that. And go make some money, all right?
Bye, everybody.
We'll see you guys.
I can't take no loss. I don't even know what it